I believe we are going live here on Facebook, family. We're excited. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to your Thursday. Change your life, make more money, increase your production, have even more success, become an even better leader, entrepreneur, sales professional, and all of the above. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to introduce you to the amazing, the incredible Miss Veronica Larea.
Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Today we have prepared amazing material that we just happened to present today at the Habitude Warrior with Eric Swanson. So Eric, this one is for you again. Round 2 of strategies, buying and selling strategies.
And so where are we? What's happening? What's happening in the world of Veronica? Veronica, you are in Boston. Hello.
Yes.
And what's the temperature like out here in Boston?
It's 45 degrees. And when you don't bring your raincoat and your fluffy stuff, it gets pretty cold.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're going to check up here on Facebook Live. All right, we're going to welcome you guys to Facebook Live. We've got a super surprise for you guys, by the way. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is, when you join us, Iona Denise Garrett. What's up, Iona? How's it going? Much love to you, Iona. Iona, text us or put in the comments what city you're joining us from. And we also have Ayanina Aziz. Sounds like some amazing Middle Eastern kind of name, I think. I could be wrong. We have people joining us from Egypt, people joining us from all over the place. So Aina, what city are you joining us from? We want to welcome you, welcome you. We have Mary Lamborn from Ontario, California. Mary in the house.
Hi, Mary.
And we have Yanina is joining us from Portland. That's awesome. And Portland, Oregon, that's pretty cool. And then we have Nicely Kenny, Kenya.
Wow.
Are you serious? We are all the way in Kenya, yo. Who's excited about that? I gotta figure out what you're selling, what you're leading in Kenya, because I want to help you produce, both of us, and this amazing panel. We also have Sally Sawtell.
Sally.
Patty, I wonder which amazing leader she is married to with a last name called Patty. I don't know. We have Vanessa Boswell. Vanessa, what's up? What's up? Vanessa, where are you joining us from? I know you are a Habitude Warrior leader as well. Vanessa, where are you joining us from? Evangeline Espino. Oh my God, Evangeline, how are you? I haven't spoken to you in a little bit, and I know that you have really, you're like the Iron Woman, right? Iron Man, Iron Woman. You and I have been through quite a bit, Evangeline, yes, health-wise, and we're here to stay. So let us know what city you're from. And also, I want to share with you guys that we have an amazing, powerful lesson today, which Veronica just talked about. And we have an amazing panel, as you can see. We have Jeff Stoffel in the house, owner of Century 21 Showcase in Highland, really growing office, over 100 some agents, including many top producers. One of them is his son, oldest son. Youngest son's going to join the ranks, I think. And another one is Dave Patty, who's right below. Dave Patty, you've been getting lots of love, by the way, brother man. A lot of people in real estate are paying attention to Dave Patty.
Yes.
We're getting lots of love. And Maricella's like, I am next. We got Maricela in the house also. She's in our final level of success certification program where she's in the speaker presenter training. She's already on the road to becoming all master,
Yes.
master Jedi, all that good stuff. And then we have Mary Lamborn. By the way, you guys, Mary Lamborn is the first person whose certificate I signed. So we got to give some props to Mary Lamborn.
Hey, Mary.
Awesome. All right, you guys, so we are in the city of Boston. Can't you tell? Just kidding. That's San Francisco. But we just got off stage with Habitude Warrior with Eric Swanson. We've got Laura Langmeyer, Bill Walsh, Les Brown, Sharon Lecter, yes, from the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series. She's authored, I think, over 100 books. We've got some super, super big speakers here in Boston. And we were just on stage today teaching buying and selling strategies. Powerful stuff. So that's what today's about. What I'd love for you guys to do, Vanessa Boswell joining us from Dallas, Texas, yes, and Nicely Kenny joining us from Western Kenya, a small town called Kimilili. Wow, what's up, Nicely Kenny? I love this, I love this. So welcome you guys. So what I'd love for you to do is share this lesson with your peeps on your Facebook wall. Why? Because this is something that no one is being taught. No one learns. So this is going to be huge. So, all right. So I am going to jump in and share some slides with you guys. And we're going to jump right in.
Oh, Miguel Angel Sanchez, greetings. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know what city are you tuning in from?
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So here we are. Success NLP Sales and Leadership Mastery. By the way, join us in December 9 and 10 for our 2-day training here in the city of Los Angeles. And today we're covering buying and selling strategies. As you can see, we have our whole tier 1 of our Success NLP Master Coaches. And we have Jeff McGrail. We have Sean Arnold. We have Dave Patty. We have Veronica Larrea. And we have Jeff Stoffel. By the way, I apologize because of our Wi-Fi connection here. If my voice comes out a little loud and distorted, my apologies. My voice has a lot of projection. So I think with the connection, I just need to tone it down a little bit. Is that better, you guys? Awesome. Okay. All right. So Success NLP Sales and Leadership Mastery. So who is excited? Drop a 1 if you want to be your number 1 in your life. Drop a 1 in the comments right now if you want to be the best in your life, in your business. Drop a 1. Right? I'm going to be seeing some 1s in here. And then also, what I want you to drop, we got Mary's got a 1. What I also want you to do is tune in because we're going to teach you something extremely powerful. All right, strategies. So let's go quickly with a definition. Lawrence Renteria. What's up, Lawrence? Lawrence Renteria from Chino Hills. Lawrence, drop a 1 if you want to be the number 1 at Remax Top Producers in Diamond Bar. Christian Fuentes, Jeanette Fuentes, also one of our clients. Awesome, awesome. Okay, strategies. This is huge, guys. This is the most important thing. We train Bank of America. We train Wells Fargo. We train Century 21. We train Keller Williams. We train Remax. We train New York Life. We train all these different companies. And whenever we go into these companies, they've not heard of buying and selling strategies. So this is huge.
In Boston, we had real estate agents, lenders, and many of them were a little bit shocked to hear when the topic came out and Kai started asking questions in the context of this particular subject. And it was very interesting to see their reactions.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to dive back in, right back into strategies. All right, you guys. Okay, strategies, definition, okay? Definition of strategies is the order and sequence of the internal and external representations that consistently produce a specific result. right? You could design the greatest strategy, but if you don't get the trigger, the initial step that kicks off the strategy won't ever get set off. Now, I'm going to give you more of a layman terms description of strategies in the context of sales and leadership, right? Because we're here to learn buying strategies and selling strategies, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So buying and selling strategies. So these are strategies that not you do, but your clients do when they make a decision. So your clients follow a certain habit or follow a certain pattern whenever they decide to take action, whether it's to sell something or whether it's to buy something. Your clients follow a very specific habit or pattern. And also, guys, it's unconscious. They don't even know they even have a pattern. So let me break it down to you like this. The way a person buys a pair of shoes for $100, $200, $300, they will follow a very similar pattern in the way that they will actually buy a $2 million house. So it really doesn't matter what the value is. How they buy anything follows a certain pattern. Also selling, how they sell anything follows a certain pattern. So when you're able to elicit the buying pattern and the selling pattern of an individual as a real estate agent, as a mortgage broker or a lender or loan officer, as a person who is in financial services. We train New York Life, one of the biggest companies, and they had their biggest quarter in history after our training. So financial services, or even a network marketer, a person who's in the whole network marketing space. When you find out what your client or your customer's strategy is, buying or selling strategy, and you're able to elicit it, and you're able to speak directly into that, what happens is that you're literally speaking into their listening, and you're literally influencing them to take action, right? So I'm going to share with you, what happened with my mom and I, right? So real quick, my mom and I go shopping, and she's looking for a Buick. We walk in the dealership, and here she is. She looks around, and she looks over there, and she goes, I like that car. I want to buy it. I said, okay, Mom, I know the drill with you, Mom. You like the car, you want to buy it. Okay. So I holler at the sales rep, and I say, hey, come out here. So he comes up to my mom, and he says, do you see anything you like? She says, yes, I see the car over there. I like it. I want to buy it. And he says, great. So what he then does is he literally rushes off he says, give me 2 minutes. He goes right in the dealership, opens the door, getting, just like she's nodding her head right now, right? He walks in, and literally his 2 minutes turns into almost 10 minutes. And he leaves, and he comes back with this wad of papers, this information, features, specs, everything about the car. And he gives the papers. Can you pretend like in this scenario, right? So let's say in this scenario, right, myself and my mom, okay, so he gives the information to her. She looks at it like, what the heck do I need this for? And she gives it to me, and next thing you know, I have it. And I'm like, I'm not reading this. I'm not going to read this information. I already know about Buicks. She already knows about Buicks. I don't need to know the features. We already know the features. So I put the stuff down, and then she says, sir, she's very, well-spoken, very ladylike, very gentlemanlike. She says, I like the car. I want to buy it. Almost as a hint to him to listen to her, right? And he then turns around again. This is the second time. He turns around again. He starts going back to the dealership, go through the glass doors. And as he's getting to the glass doors, my mom says, wait a minute. She's trying to stop him from going back into the dealership because he's not listening to her. And he catches her. He hears it, and he turns around, and he looks back at her. And then he says to her, I'm going to go get the keys. And she says, why are you going to get the keys? He says, well, you're going to test drive the car. And she says, but I don't want to test drive the car. And this is what he says. He says, everybody needs to test drive the car. The man wouldn't listen. I don't know what to say. He goes into the dealership. Guess what? Almost another 10 minutes goes by. So now we're 20 minutes standing outside like idiots waiting for him to get smart. And he comes back out, and he comes back out with the keys. And what does he do? Just like the first time. He gives the keys to her. She's holding the keys. And guess what she does? She gives the keys to me. Why does she give the keys to me? Because guess what? Guys, my mom doesn't drive. My mom doesn't drive. So, but he doesn't know that because he doesn't ask questions, right? So she gives the keys to me, and I'm like, okay, we're going to test drive this car. At that time, I just kind of like, let me just, this is his deal. Let's just go with the flow. This is his deal. I'm in the car. She's in the car. And guess what? Driving, and he's talking to my mom, and guess what he's doing? Ba 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 ba. She is going nuts. She is getting more and more upset, more and more pissed off. She's getting annoyed. Even his voice is annoying to her at this point. Let me ask you a question. Has anybody ever sold you something that you even wanted? You walked in wanting it, deciding you were going to buy it, and then when they start to sell it to you, the more they talked, the less you wanted what they were selling. Has that ever happened to you? The more they talked, the more de-enrolled you were getting, right? Ever happened to you? Exactly. Well, this is the deal with her. So this is huge, guys, because in the car industry, we have this thing called a turnover. When people have a lack of rapport and a lack of understanding the client's way of deciding, and if there's any resistance, any block, what happens is they switch to another person. So we don't want to be that person, that salesperson who doesn't get the business, correct? We want to be the person
Hi, guys. We lost you for a minute.
We have a better connection. Okay. And we're still live on Facebook. I'm sorry, you guys. You know what? Technology, don't you love technology? Isn't it the most fun thing in the whole wide world?
Boston.
It's Boston.
This is never happening in LA,
we're
right?
in Boston, even though we're in San Francisco. We're in San Francisco, and we're in Boston. All right. So what I was sharing with you is that we are talking about buying and selling strategies.
Yes.
Now, buying and selling strategies are the patterns people follow when they make a decision to buy or sell. Now, where is this information that we're giving you coming from? Just so that you know, we didn't just invent this yesterday. This has been developed from studying the car industry for over 75 years.
It's a long time.
So how long has the car industry been around?
Many years.
A long time, right? For over 75 years, there has been research that has shown these patterns. Now, let me say that even though this is developed from the car industry, this is actually the same strategies that people use when they buy or sell real estate, when they buy or sell shoes, when they buy or sell insurance, when they buy or sell anything, when they make decisions in any industry. So this maps across all industries, yes?
Even you and I.
Correct.
This type of stuff.
So no matter what industry you are in, this applies. Now, so 75 years car industry. So what I'm going to share with you is what the car industry has shown us and why this is so powerful for you to know. So as you're joining us on Facebook, hello, it got frozen, and we are live again. Bob Donald joined us. By the way, Bob Donald's a big-time leader with Habitude Warrior. I think, Bob, you live in, I think San Diego. I know California. Or no, probably Newport Beach. Bob Donald, Newport Beach, probably. We got Raymond Rockwell, one of our clients from Buick. Awesome lady. She's one of the top leaders at Buick as well. We got Edgar Rosales, RE/MAX top producers. Stephen Davis. We got Monica Aguilar, Giselle McQueen joining us from, I forget what city. What city joining us? James D. Armstrong. Jenna. Wow, we got a lot of people. We got a lot of people. Okay, let's cover the content. Keep me on task, Ronnie. Keep me on task.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we have now what the car industry has shared with us are some strategies and some insights. So let's go with this here. Phases of strategies. Now, when you talk about phases of strategies, there's really 3 phases, and there's one thing in the second phase that you need to be aware of. So the first thing I want us to talk about is motivation strategy. Now, who here has watched the movie I, Robot with Will Smith?
Awesome.
Seen that movie, I, Robot with Will Smith? Okay, now, having seen the movie I, Robot with Will Smith, you're probably aware that they were selling a hot, sexy Audi. Who remembers that?
BMW.
It was actually an Audi, by the way. It was an Audi. It was an Audi. It was a hot, sexy Audi. Hot and sexy Audi. Now, let me ask you a question. When people saw, I wouldn't do that now. I would not do that now because you will use all the Wi-Fi we have left, right? When people have the initial idea that I want a hot, sexy car, or they see it in an advertisement and movie, what do you guess is the amount of time it takes from the moment that they had that first initial light bulb to the time when they actually show up in the dealership?
You can text your guess.
How long does it take?
Is it 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months?
So here's my question for you guys. I want you to type in the comments here, and this relates to real estate, relates to everything. How much time from the moment the person has an idea they want to buy something, a light bulb, it's probably an unconscious idea. They're probably not even aware of the idea. How long does it take from that moment to the time that they actually show up in the dealership with an intention to buy the car? Or they show up to a real estate agent with an intention to buy a house, or an intention to sell a house, or they show up to a financial service agent with the intention to
purchase life
insurance policy.
Yes.
So some people go, well, I have an idea and I show up a week later. Of course, there's some people that do that, but that's not the norm. The average person, by the way, type in your comments, how much time do you think? Type in less than 24 hours.
We wish, right?
We wish.
That was the case.
Blanca, Edgar, Jim. By the way, if you're on Facebook Live, I want you to type in how much time do you think it takes? I'm waiting.
Less than 24 hours. Edgar, and you took our class. Oh.
Yes.
Retake. We need to retake that class.
Okay, so you guys, now that by the time you type in, it's too late because you've typed it in because it's a 20-second delay on Facebook than here. I'm going to tell you the answer, but you're going to hear the answer 20 seconds later. The answer is up to 6 months.
Yes.
It takes up to 6 months from the moment you have the initial idea to buy a car, buy a house, buy something, to when you actually show up in the dealership, check in hand, cash ready to go, with an intention that today I'm buying the car. That is the norm. That's what the car industry has shown us. So this is important to know because that's called the motivation phase. Let me go back to that real quick. That's called the motivation phase. where people are getting motivated, right? And it can take up to 6 months. So our question is, who do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on working with clients that are in the process of getting motivated to take action? Or do you want to work with clients that have literally decided to take action, right? The next group is the decision strategy. People that are in the decision strategy. So let me share with you a little bit about what this is. People that are in the decision strategy, you will know they're in the decision strategy because they walked in the dealership with an intention to buy the car today. Check in hand, funds in hand, ready to go. Same thing with real estate. They're sitting down with an agent with an intention, I'm going to get this today, right? I want a house today. I want to sell my house today. Or financial services, they're sitting with a person. So how you know they're there is because they put themselves in a position to take action. Does this make sense?
Now, for the real estate industry, we also know that every time we have a consumer, whether it's a seller or a buyer, we ask a question, which is very simple. How long have you thinking of selling the house, or how long you've been thinking of purchasing a house? So it depends on what the answer is. So in this case, if they said, I just started last week, then for a fact that they're still not ready. They're motivated, but they're still not in the decision strategy. So we have to make sure that we take those contacts and put them in a nice drip campaign, give them touches, but don't spend too much time or energy or resources showing properties because they're not ready to either sell or buy.
Okay, perfect. All right. So now let's take it to the next level. Who's excited about this stuff?
Oh,
yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Type in, give us say I'm excited about what you're learning today. Type in the comments, I'm excited, so that we're going to share with you the rest of this lesson, because this lesson is mind-blowing. This lesson, guys, I would say is worth, I wouldn't even say worth $10,000. I would say $50,000, $100,000, $1 million over your lifetime in income. Absolutely, yes. Okay, so let's go to the next piece of that. So we just covered the decision strategy, yes?
Yes.
Now, the next thing we're going to get to is the convincer.
Oh, my God.
Now, this is huge, guys, too. Yes, Edgar Rosales excited. Barbara Jovin's excited. I love you guys. Send us some hearts on Facebook. Send us some hearts on Facebook. We are here every week giving you the most amazing, amazing stuff. All right, so convincer. What is the convincer? Write this definition down. The convincer is the number of times your client needs to loop or go through their buying or selling strategy before they've decided that now is the time to buy. So let me give you an example. When I went and bought my watch, I love my watch, yes? I knew what watch I wanted. But yet, even though I knew what watch I wanted, and I went straight to the register, I still had to try on 2 other watches because I feel incomplete looking at one thing and deciding on one thing. I always feel like I have to have some kind of a comparison. Whereas Veronica, so my convincer is 3. Veronica's convincer is
1.
1.
Imagine if we can have this type of consumer every single day.
Doesn't exist. Hardly.
It's hardly, but when you come across somebody like me or some other person that has a convincer of 1, it's a gold mine, you guys. And Kai's going to explain to you guys next why.
Now, this is huge, guys. Okay. There are some mistakes being made in a lot of trainings that are in the world right now. There's a lot of trainings in sales specifically that teach you that, and let me go back here, that teach you, there's a lot of trainings in sales that teach you that always offer 3 things. Offer something high, offer something medium, and offer something low. Big mistake. Big mistake. How many of you ever watched the movie Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts? When she walks in that door and goes, you work on commissions. Big mistake. Guys, even though the most common convincer in the world is 3, where people like to have 3 options, they like to try on 3 pairs of shoes, they like to see 3 houses that fit their criteria, They like to try get 3 different offers before they make a decision. Even though that may be the most common, it is not everybody. So let's say we have 40, 50, 60% of the population that has a 3 convincer. That means there's another 50 or 60% of the population that maybe has a 1 convincer or a 2 convincer. I even have people have a 10 convincer, which means they need 10 different options before they make a decision on one thing. So it would be a very big mistake to presuppose what someone's convincer is. You might want to find out what their convincer is. You might want to find out how many they need in order for them to decide. And then actually give them the exact number that they need. Because then guess what? They will take action. They'll be happy. They'll get what they want. And then you'll earn a commission. Does this make sense? Type in "this makes sense" in the comment section of Facebook. Type in right now, "this makes sense." We need to learn how our customers and clients think and make decisions. And when we learn that, we need to speak directly to that. Jeff Stoffel says this makes sense. Yeah, he's the owner of Century 21 Showcase, Success NLP Master Coach. Of course it makes sense.
On that note, imagine if you're a manager or a CEO and you're trying to recruit, you're trying to increase your sales team, right? And they come to you and during the interview, you ask certain questions, the things that Kai is going to go over, and you identify that this particular sales rep is a convincer of 1. So then you will tailor your presentation, you will tailor your culture and everything towards the goal of hiring that person on the spot, because you know that this is the chance, right? But how about if you have a sales rep that comes in and by asking the right questions, you actually identify that the person has a convincer of 2. So that means they're interviewing with you, but they need something else to compare. That doesn't mean you're going to let go of that prospect. What that means is you can actually open the conversation and contrast your office, your culture with whoever's your competitor right then and guide that sales rep to do the right choice, which is getting hired by you.
Make sense? Makes sense. Yes. All right. Okay. So did we explain a convincer? We did? Perfect. All right. So let's go to the next thing that we need to be aware of.
Yes.
The next thing we want to be aware of is the 3rd phase. Remember, the motivation strategy is phase 1. Decision strategy is phase 2. Convincer is a part of the decision strategy. And then the final phase is the reassurance strategy. So what is the reassurance strategy?
This is very interesting, by the way.
Reassurance strategy is essentially how you become reassured that what you want to buy and how you become reassured that what you bought was a good decision. So it's almost like you bought a suit, you go home, and your wife or your husband or someone says to you, "Oh my gosh, that suit looks amazing on you," right? So now you become reassured that what you selected was a good selection. Another example is you bought a new car. You drive home in the car, and your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your spouse, your kids, your neighbors go, "Wow, that car is hot." And what that does is reassures you that you made a good purchase, right? Or maybe you bought something at a special APR rate, a certain percentage rate, or a certain price. And then you see on TV the advert of that same thing, but they're offering it at a higher price than what you paid for it. So then you get reassured that you got a really good deal. Does that make sense? So reassurance strategy is how we become reassured that we made a good decision, right? So type in reassurance. Type in reassurance in the comments. That means that you understand what reassurance strategy means. And do that now. Awesome. Okay, now that we've covered the phases of strategies, now we want to cover the steps.
Yes.
The steps of strategies.
Very easy to learn. Very easy to remember.
So this is what we're going to do. Very easy to learn, very easy to remember, very easy to do. We're not suggesting the NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is the study of human excellence, studied by Tony Robbins, trained U.S. Presidents Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, Oprah Winfrey, Richard Branson. We're not saying the stuff that they have all learned is easy to learn, easy to remember, and easy to do right now. Okay, so next thing. All right, so what are the steps? Who wants to learn the steps? Type in the steps. Type in the steps and send some thumbs up. I want to know the steps. I want to know the steps. I want to know the steps. Okay, so let's go with the steps now. All righty. Step 1, strategy elicitation. Okay? You're going to elicit the customer or client's strategy so that step 2, you can utilize that strategy. You can speak into their listening and you can utilize their strategy to help close the deal, close the sale, right? Now, we're not going to cover this tonight, specifically steps 3 and 4, because it takes a long time, but I want to let you know what they are. Steps 3 is strategy change, where you're able to change someone's strategy. And step 4 is strategy install, where once you've changed someone's strategy, you can actually install the strategy. Now, this is huge, guys. This is huge. Now, why do we want to elicit the strategy? Because we want to find out what their strategy is so we can speak into their listening and we can close the deal. Step 2, which is the utilization, we want to feed it back to them. Now, we won't go into it much in detail in steps 3 and 4 because that's a completely different thing. But why would you ever want to change someone's strategy? Well, you want to change someone's strategy because some people have strategies that lead to bad results. Like, for instance, certain people are compulsive shoppers, right? Do you know anybody who's a compulsive shopper who can never say no, who constantly buys stuff and then regrets it later, right? There are people who are compulsive shoppers. So what happens is they see something, they love it, they hear it, it sounds great, they feel this rush of feeling, and next thing you know, they just buy it. So what that does is it results in them spending tens of thousands of dollars on all these products that sit on the shelves, and now they've depleted their funds over stuff that they're never even going to wear and use. You know, I remember back in the day, my mom had a closet growing up. When I was growing up, my mom had a closet of clothes that she never wore, brand new. Literally for a year, 2 years, almost the entire closet still had the tags on it, and she just bought stuff that she never wore. Why? Because she saw it, she got a feeling for it, bought it, and there was never a thought in her head about, does this make sense? How much does this cost? But that was my mom, right? So you may want to do strategy change if you ever have someone who is a compulsive shopper. I also have another lady, by the way, this is not just buying and selling strategies. This is strategies in all areas of life. I had a lady once who came to me who had a tendency to fall in love with men in the first day that she met them. And then she was in a relationship for almost 10, 15 years with a person, never once thinking to herself, oh my gosh, this isn't the right man for me. Why? Because her strategy in a relationship context was this. She was highly auditory and then kinesthetic. By the way, let's write these down. I want to explain this real quick. Let's write these down. Visual, I see. Visual, I see. Type in visual, I see in Facebook comments. Then I want you to type in next, auditory, I hear. Type in auditory, I hear in the Facebook comments. Then kinesthetic, I feel. Type in kinesthetic, I feel in the Facebook comments. And then olfactory, I smell. Olfactory, I smell. Type in olfactory, I smell in the comments. And finally, gustatory, I taste. By the way, these are NLP terms. Yes, they're kind of cool. I didn't invent those names, but that's what we're rolling with. So gustatory, I taste, right? So those are the 5 senses. Now we also have AD, which is the part of the brain that tells you what you think of something, the processor, the analyzer. So you have the 5 senses, and then you have the analyzer. Now, This woman, going back to this woman, she was highly auditory and kinesthetic. What that meant was when she heard him speak in that deep resonance voice, he was, you know, he was sexy, he was alluring, he was masculine, he was tall. And she heard that auditory tone, and then she got this rush. And what happened, she fell in love instantly. Now, what's missing in her strategy? What's missing in her strategy, she had no AD. For her to get to the feelings of love, all she had to do is hear it, feel it, and she was already there. Not at any point was there AD, analyzer, saying, does this make sense? Is this wise? So she got stuck in these relationships, and she came to my seminar and said, Kaya, I'm in pain. I'm in these relationships I can't even get out of with men I should never have been with because we're not a match. You know, we're not a match. And if I had just analyzed, just taken one look and asked him some questions on day one, I would never have fallen in love. And I would not have given up the bulk of my life towards this marriage with this person that is not manifested in anything I want. Make sense? So these aren't just buying, selling strategies. We do strategies for everything in life. So there are times when you may want to change someone's strategy and install a new strategy. And again, that's about a day in our seminar that we do that for people that want to do that, or compulsive shoppers, or people that don't follow the right strategies, like sales. Like there's a person who's not able to prospect. You know why they can't prospect? Because they see people that don't want to talk to them. They hear the no's before the no's even come. They're already hearing no's. And then they feel like crap. Well, if you see people that don't want to talk to you, and you hear the no's, and you focus on that, you're going to feel like crap, and you're not going to want to prospect. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So for people that have a hard time prospecting, we can actually go ahead and change their strategy too. Write down amazing in the comment section. Right now, write down the word amazing in the comment section, because to me, I'm amazed. I'm amazed that we can actually go and actually change a person's habit, strategy, pattern, and how they do what they do on a daily basis. That's producing no results. That's leaving them in a relationship or relationships that are not fulfilling for their whole life, leaving them broke, leaving them alone, leaving them hurt, leaving them disappointed, and they're out of. They're basically almost like just living a life that's not their life. Why? Because they have strategies that don't work. Now, what if we could change their strategies? Not by going to a seminar and someone says, oh, do this, do this. Who gives a crap what a trainer tells you what to do? It doesn't matter what people tell you what to do, because that's not going to change anything. They've got to help you make the change inside. Write down, I've got to make the change inside. Write down, I've got to make the change inside. It can't be intellectual information. It's got to be transformation. Again, it cannot be intellectual information. It's got to be transformation. Make sense? Okay, now, so that is the stages. So basically, we have covered why strategies are important, buying and selling strategies. We've covered what strategies are. We covered, this is for Maricela, because Maricela loves me giving a recap. She just loves it. She's like, you know what, Kaya, in those recaps, it makes NLP easy to learn, easy to remember, and easy to do. I don't know why. Whenever we share a message, it just becomes so easy to learn, easy to remember, easy to do. I don't know why. Could it be something about the speaking, the training? I don't know. I love it. Give a shout out to Maricela. By the way, send some love to Maricela.
Maricela, you know we love you.
Maricela is an up-and-coming rock star that is going to transform the world with us. Yes,
she's
absolutely.
Almost graduating, and by 2018, she should be joining us also as a coach in the academy. So we can't wait, because she brings a lot of heart, a lot of enthusiasm, and her skill set to deliver the material is absolutely getting to the point that it's right there. We can't wait, Kaya, to see her.
Okay, so guys, we shared with you why this is important to learn. We shared with you what this is. We shared with you the research in the car industry that maps across all industries. We shared with you the phases, the motivation phase, the decision phase, the convincer, which is a component that's important to remember, the number of times a person loops through their strategy before they're comfortable to buy it. Do they need to try on 3 pairs of shoes, or do they need to just try on one? Do they need to test drive 3 different cars, or is it just one? And then we share with you the reassurance strategy. We also shared with you the steps to strategies: strategy elicitation, strategy utilization. We also shared with you there are people that need to change their strategies. That's why you want to come to our seminar and come and get trained by us, because what we can do is we can help you change your strategies at an unconscious level, meaning the autopilot that's running you, the autopilot that's running you and running your life and determining your results. We can actually change that so you can produce even better results. So we can change strategies and we can install new strategies. Now, you may want to know how to elicit a strategy, yes? I promise you,
Oh, I love this.
I promise you that you want to attend our training on December 9th and 10th in Pasadena, California. This 30 minutes alone in the 2 days, guys, this 30 minutes alone is going to make you massive money in your business. We are going to give you this script to literally tap right into the psychology of your customers, your clients, and find out what their buying strategy is or what their selling strategy is. Almost like, guys, almost like you're being a visitor, you're visiting inside the brain of your customer, your client, and you're eliciting their strategy, and they never even knew they had a visitor. Do you get it? Let me repeat that.
That's the best part.
Let me repeat that. You are conversationally, very naturally, very organically, you're going to ask questions, and those questions are going to elicit the buying strategy, the selling strategy of your customer and client. So sellers, you'll be able to get listings, more listings, because you'll be able to find out how they arrive at a decision to list their house with you. Buyers, you'll be able to find out the buying patterns, so you'll be able to get buyers to take action, right? All of this. For financial services, you'll be able to elicit the strategy a person makes when they want to roll over the money from this account to that account, or when they want to buy life insurance or network marketing. You'll be able to elicit the strategy a person has on how they decide to move shit from this opportunity to this opportunity. You're going to elicit it, and then you're going to utilize it. So on December 9th and 10th, we are going to be sharing this script with you. This script is worth tens of thousands of dollars. Did we ever share the promotion for our training?
No, I don't think we have, and I think it's time.
Should we?
Yes.
What can we do? What special deal can we do for people that call in today?
Well, why don't we give them the corporate rate? I think, that's the lowest and most efficient way.
Corporate rate?
Yes.
Wow.
Go for it. Just
corporate
give it to
rate?
them. Just give it to them.
Okay, guys, we don't give this right unless we got a groups of 50 that buy bulk tickets at the same time. We're really going to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
We should.
So it's
year end.
It's probably 40% of the ticket price.
Yes.
35 to 40% of the ticket price.
More. I think
Okay, so the tickets to the event is $1,250, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a promotion.
Yes.
For $500.
Yes.
But by the way, this is for only people that take action in the next 24 hours.
Correct. After the Zoom.
So what date is it today? November
9th,
right? So what's the deadline? By November 10th, what time?
End of day.
Okay.
End of day.
A full 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay, by November 10th, which is, what day is that?
That would be Friday. November.
I'm in Boston. I have no idea what the heck day of the week it is.
It's different, but it's okay. I get a little weird sometimes.
November 10th, Friday.
Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow. Pacific Standard Time by what? 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
By 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I want you to, and promo code, let's give a promo code Uh,
Kaya 20, that's easy.
nah. Strategies. The promo code is strategies.
I think Kaya 20 is simple.
Kaya 20?
Yes.
She wants me to do Kaya 20.
Yes.
I don't know. Okay.
It's very simple, you guys.
She's got to back off. She's got that whole structure thing going. Okay.
Otherwise, I have to reinvent the entire system.
Okay. Kaya 20. So Kaya 20, use the promo code Kaya 20, and you will be able to attend at almost a 65% discount.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Oh. What about Trimetrics? You should keep them
Trimetrics. Well, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to throw in a $1,500 report.
Yes, because it's important. It's important for them.
We're going to throw in a $1,500 report, 60-page report all about you. So in other words, when you register for the program, December 9th and 10th, you are essentially going to get a link to an online assessment, which you take in about 30 minutes. And when you take that assessment, it's going to print out a 60-page report all about you, how you're wired, how you think, what's your motivators, what's your drivers. Are you on the right path to achieve your goals? Are you not? Are you driven by what you need to be driven by to achieve your goals? Are you fulfilled? It's going to go into a lot of applications to help you make money, put it that way. Who you communicate well with, what's your behavioral style, what you can do to improve your communication with certain people, and what I also love is the time wasters.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Because a lot of people waste a lot of frickin' time doing stuff that's non-income producing activities. So again, that's November 10th.
Yes, that is tomorrow.
Tomorrow by 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And who do they call?
They can just inbox Kaya or inbox me. Just, your name, your last name, email address, and phone number, and just say, I'm in.
Okay, and we have some amazing leaders on our panel here too. So we have some amazing leaders on our panel. Whoever wall you're watching this from, they have their own special promo code. We're giving that to them as well. So if you're on Dave Patty's wall and you want to come to the December 9th and 10th training, get back in touch with Dave Patty.
Yes.
If you know Maricela, you're watching this because you're on Maricela's friends list, get back in touch with Maricela.
And
Jeff
they
Stoffel.
are part of Century 21 system, home for me.
And then same thing with Mary Lamborn. If you know Mary Lamborn, or if you know Sean Arnold, or whoever it is from our academy that you're introduced this video from, get back in touch with them. What we're going to do is we're going to include that promotion for everybody.
Yes.
So why do you want to come? You want to come because what we just shared with you today just blew your mind. Yes?
A tiny little portion of the entire seminar, you guys. It's like super tiny. Imagine the rest of it.
What we just shared with you blew your mind, yes? Literally, I was flown to Boston to speak on stage with Laura Langmeyer, Bill Walsh,
on this topic.
Sharon Lecter, Les Brown, all these top people. They love me to teach buying and selling strategies.
Yes.
And so, yes, it is very valuable.
You will actually get to meet, Jeff Stoffel, Dave Patty, Sean Arnold, Jeff McGreal, all of the amazing coaches, plus the upcoming new tier of coaches, which is Maricela Smith, Lucas Smith, Eric Mitchell, who else? Elmer Delgado. I'm forgetting the names right now.
All those good people. Yes. All right, so I think that's it. We want to give you the script. So this is what we're going to do in the training. We're going to train you on many, many things, including you'll get that report that we talked about, $1,500 value that you'll get for free when you register for the program.
Yes.
We're going to give you the script. We're going to do a lot of role playing. So we want you to take that script and we want you to internalize it so that you can find your customers, your clients buying and selling strategies so you can help your customers sell or list their house with you.
Yes.
You can get your buyers to take action and buy your products and services, and then you're going to learn strategies in general, and you'll be able to use it for everything.
Yes.
So
remember, this is good for business and also in the personal arena.
So I want you to type in here, I'm coming. Just type in here, I'm coming. And find a way.
Yes.
Find a way. Say, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Or no, actually, you could say, I'm in. Whether you want to come or not, that's not that. Hey, that's nothing to do with me. I would say I'm in is probably a better way to phrase the same thing. So type in the comments, I'm in, and then the code is Kaya 20.
Yes.
Kaya 20.
Yes.
And what number do they call?
They can call the 310 number.
Because it's short notice, yes.
Yes.
You're going to call the number 310-871-6191.
Yes.
I'm going to type it in the comments right now. 310-871-6191.
Yes.
310-871.
And it's just very simple, you guys. Just text your first, last name, email address, and then that's all you need to do. And then you'll receive an email, a welcome letter from our academy, and then more good information regarding the program.
Yeah, so what you can do is you don't even have to call. You could actually text that number, like Veronica said, 310-871-6191, and say, I'm in December 9th and 10th. And then probably Rosemary or someone with our office is going to get back in touch with you and get you registered for the class. All right, you guys, so I think we're here. I almost want to just give it to you now. I literally can't wait to give you this script. But you're going to learn the script. You're going to learn how to master it. You're going to learn how to increase your closing ratio. This is about making more money, getting more clients, getting more listings, more closed transactions, making more money, spending less time learning how to turn no's to yeses, yes to even bigger yeses. This is all about that. So with that being said,
before we go, let's give an amazing gratitude to Jeff Stoffel, Century 21 Showcase. Thank you so much, Jeff, for always being there for us. You bring so much. Dave, Patty, my heart goes to you. You know how much we love you. Mary, thank you so much. And Maricela, thank you.
I'm going to actually get a couple comments from Jeff and Dave and Maricela and Mary on how this is, how powerful this is for your industry. So, Jeff, I'm going to share it with you now. Why don't you take it away, Jeff?
Howdy. Fabulous. Great hour talk. And everybody should be there because you're going to really master how to use this. I know my agents that have embraced the concept, they're just having a blast with it. They're making more money and they're working fewer hours and having great successes with it. And the strategies are absolutely amazing. Even learning the strategies of how you do nothing. Sometimes the behavior of not doing is a strategy too. So all of it is amazing and you'll get great results from it. So I'll be there that weekend. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And it's a great time.
Awesome. Awesome. And Jeff, I'm looking forward to you teaching something. Hey.
This is going to be, we're all going to teach it. I'm so excited.
All right. And I'm going to swing it over to Dave, Patty. Dave, I know you're the master at listening, to your clients. What do you think of this? And how do you use this in your life, in your business?
Oh, I love strategies. I love knowing my own strategies. I love knowing my wife's strategy. It's helpful in all areas of life, and especially in the real estate industry. That it's something that you want. It'll help you take over your life once you understand that these things are possible. This, along with all of the other tools, really has changed my life, and so I hope that for you.
Awesome. Yes. And let's swing it over to Mary. Mary, how powerful is this lesson?
It's extremely powerful to understand the strategies and how somebody will move through them, and you can bring them to the desired result of taking your class or buying a house or whatever it is that you're buying, your accounting services. But there's so much more to learn at this training in December. And I know that you've done some of the preview for that. For example, talking into somebody's listening. It is so important to be able to understand how somebody represents things so that they can, if they're visual, you're talking into the visual. If there's so many things. So the strategies are part of it. And there's just so much to learn in that 2 days.
Absolutely, Mary. Yes, indeed. Very true. Thank you. And let's go over to Maricela.
Now, Maricela is our current student.
Maricela is our current student on our 4th level of NLP.
Yes, and she's rocking it.
Rockstar Maricela, yes.
So it is very important to know the strategies, especially yours, because even though you and your significant other or family member or wife or husband may have different strategies, So you want to know what's there so you can kind of like agree on what to do. So you agree to not disagree on what you're buying and how you're buying it, because, you might have a husband that is a convincer of 1 and the wife is a convincer of 4 or 5. So you have to know who you're dealing with. So it is very important. It is extremely important that you know, so you can save time and money.
Absolutely, Maricela, absolutely. All right. Okay, so we are going to let you know about next week's class coming up, Thursday training. We always give you a preview of what's coming up next week, and I know you're going to be really excited to learn about the next lesson. So we have our training, as you know, coming up December 9th and 10th, which is Success NLP Sales and Leadership Mastery. And then our next week, Thursday, the topic is Success NLP Sales and Leadership Mastery. How about that? We are literally going to go into what exactly that training covers. So it's not obviously going to be just buying, selling strategies and the script, but it's going to be other scripts that we have too.
Yes.
How people can take full ownership of their business and their life.
Yes. How
people can discover what's going on internally that makes them produce at a high level or makes them not. How to overcome objections, like how to turn no's to yeses, all of that. And then we're all going to take not only the test that you take when you first register, which prints out a 60-page report about you, we're also going to do another test that's going to tell you how your brain works, literally how you're hardwired, and what results are you producing as a result of that, and what you can do to work with your God-given makeup to create the best results in your life. The secrets to goal achieving, all of that. So just an enormous amount of stuff.
Yes.
Plus, we're also going to do a timeline therapy experience. Wow.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
Where you get to let go of some stuff, right?
Yes.
We have a lot of people who want to make a lot of money, but yet they have these fears. They have fear of prospecting, fear of rejection, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of public speaking, whatever the freaking fear is, right? We have people that, that have those. So what we want to do is we want to give you kind of a sense of what that whole program is. So if you love this video, which I did, I'm going to share this video like crazy.
Yes,
I'm digging this video. I think this is an awesome, awesome lesson today. Be kind, be gentle, be loving to your friends, to your family. Share this with people that one thing, here's the thing, my last thought of the day is that, we talk about your circle of influence. By the way, have you ever heard of Marilyn Savant? We've all heard of Marilyn Savant, yes? Or maybe we haven't. Marilyn Savant is the woman with the highest recorded IQ in history. And Marilyn was asked once, she was asked, can you look at someone and tell just by meeting them where they will be in 5 or 10 years from now? She said, absolutely. All I have to do is ask 2 questions. Now, the first question, she said, is I would ask them, who are the 5 people they spend most of their time with? Who do they surround themselves with? Your results will be directly proportionate to the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. You could go as far as even taking the income of the 5 people you spend most of your time with and average that income. And you'll find that your income is within 10% above or below of the average of the 5 people. So, and I'll share with you the second question that she would ask when I see you next. But I want to make this point. When you realize that you are so affected by your circle of influence, birds of a feather flock together. When you know that, it would be very smart to elevate your circle of influence, because here's the thing. When you elevate your circle of influence, your spouse, your kids, we take kids over the age of what? Probably like 10, 11 years old.
11,
We had really young kids in our classes as well. When you elevate your circle of influence, your spouses, your brothers, your sisters, your family, you then in turn have elevated them. And when you elevate them, because they're your circle of influence, they in turn elevate you even higher. It's hard to go high in life when you're surrounded by crabs trying to pull you down in that barrel. If you can actually just go out there and become successful and then throw in their direction a lifeline, a rope where they could pull themselves up as well and see the same vision that you could see and create the same results that you could get because they've actually stepped into personal growth just like you, it would totally transform your life. Make sense? So I want you to share this with people. I love you guys. We're super excited.
Yes.
We had Gary Vasquez just join us. We had Iona. We had Sally. We had Elmer. We had all these amazing people and lights. We love you guys, and we will see you back here next Thursday,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I love
In the
you guys.
meantime, stay blessed.
Stay blessed. I'm going to unmute our panel so everybody's unmuted. They can all say, I love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. See you guys soon. Mwah.